you want me to add Ruben? Alright. We good?
We're good.
Hey. Yeah, chat's saying hi. Hello, chat. No, Ruben's not working at the moment.
Hello guys, and welcome to another live stream. Ruben, we're trying to get Ruben into this, but apparently we have a little problem. So listen to this music in the meanwhile.
So, wait, let me know when the intro ends.
It is. We are live.
Hi.
Excellent. Hi, Ruben. So,
Hi.
what's the plan?
So the plan is that we will be watching a little bit of the Treehouse presentation and then talk a little bit about your impressions with the Switch, Ruben. So
Yes.
let me just get this one running. I guess that's it. Nice. Okay. So
Alright.
let's go then. Okay, guys. So we got Ed from Zeltik and Ruben Wagner from Music Proposition. Ed just finished his Breath of the Wild analysis, and Ruben was playing the Switch yesterday, so we'll get some of his impressions on how the system plays and how Zelda plays on the Nintendo Switch. But to begin with, I think we could actually have your impressions, Ruben. How was the Switch?
In one sentence, it was the best console I ever played for the last many years. I think the most impressive thing on it are the graphics on the handheld. I think many people are saying that the docked mode on the TV is just is 40% better or something like that. But I think the real graphical power it has gets revealed when you play it in the handheld mode. That's really just amazing, especially on Zelda, Mario Kart, Splatoon. It all looked amazing in the handheld mode, especially.
What games did you play then at the event?
I played Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, 1-2 Switch, ARMS, and Splatoon 2.
Okay.
And I think from a graphical standpoint, Mario Kart 8 was the best game. Breath of the Wild was like it looked very good on the handheld, very good on the TV, but it was not as stable as in the Jimmy Fallon presentation. It was like 20 to 25 FPS, but of course the whole artificial, the colors, the aesthetics are just amazing, and they look as best as you can think on the TV mode on the Switch.
Okay. Did you think it was higher FPS when docked, or was there not really a change?
No, I don't think that changed.
Not really. Okay. So the
So
only issue with playing it handheld is battery life, then, really.
yes, I think so. And if they say 2 hours to 6 hours, they mean 2 hours, I think, because it's very difficult to achieve such a high performance without comprehending the battery life. But I have to admit, it looks very sharp. It's 720p. That's not the best resolution, but it looks so amazing on that handheld. Every game I played.
Okay, part of what pulls Breath of the Wild is the art style as well. It doesn't need to be 1080p just because of how pretty it looks.
Yes.
And I always thought that Mario Kart 8 looked too good for the Wii U anyway, so I think that'll look fine on the Switch.
Yes.
I think so as well. But what was the biggest improvement from the Wii U version that we saw? In terms of outside of, let's say, frame rate, because that wasn't a given. The Switch is much more powerful. But are there more details? Can you see the grass better?
I didn't think so. I didn't play the Wii U version, but I think it's it's 30 FPS around that. A little bit less sometimes, but outside of the FPS thing and the fact that you can play it on the go, there are not many changes there. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Not too many
that's-
changes, in other words.
But that's perfect. I mean, the game world is so big. I just played the Hyrule Plateau, as in the E3 it was playable. But yes, especially the whole sound design, the noises from the nature. I played it with earphones from Sennheiser, and yes, that's so immersive and really a great experience, even on handheld.
So is it the same demo from E3, as in you get like half an
Yes.
hour or 25 minutes, whatever? And cool.
Yes.
I think that's good enough. I think that's about enough time to get a feel for the game. Although, I mean, I'm sort of glad that they're not giving more people any experiences really beyond the Great Plateau, because then it'll feel special when you play it for yourself that first time.
Yes, and that seems from.
Then Ed, it might be special because we are heading for the press event in Sweden after all. So I would not
Exactly.
against having the possibility to play, say, 10 minutes outside the plateau. So yeah,
We'll have to see.
You will
just
have.
have to wait and see.
I think you will play two demos. One for more story based things, and one for the exploration on the plateau. I think that's the case for you as well. I think they will use the same demos.
It was the same at E3. So you get the story demo where you you start in the Shrine of Resurrection and that sort of thing, and then the exploration demo where you start in the champion tunic and everything, a little bit more kitted out.
Yes,
I'm fine with either. Honestly, I just want to play the game. I'm not too fussed which version I'm playing.
Yeah,
and some people.
We have been waiting
as
so
well.
long.
I think especially the scenes they shown in that presentation trailer with the snow, with that white fox and the tropical areas, they look so great, and we didn't even saw them in gameplay footage, so that will be really immersive when you play it. And Zeltik. And another thing is, on the Jimmy Fallon show, you saw Reggie pulling out the Switch and then doing something, and then he gave it to Jimmy. And I asked the attendees of Nintendo to show me if this is really if you have to do something when you pull the Switch out, and you have to press the shoulder buttons, and then it's actually in the handheld mode. So this is the transition, because the Switch recognizes which controller you're using. You have to play these buttons, press these buttons, and then you are in the handheld mode. But it works very fluidly.
That's good to hear, because we need such a fluent game experience, especially with other open world games that have cut down loading times, have cut down waiting times in general in games. It's just you play, and it's only when you die that you load. And
Yes.
Is that the difference on the Switch in terms of loading times? I don't know how long it took. Hey, come on, that is product placement, Ed. That is product placement. That's all.
They're so good though.
Yeah, they're good though, but the workers pay you for this.
I think
wish.
the specs are that it's 900p on dock mode and 720p on handheld mode, and in both modes about 20 to 25 FPS. But it works perfectly. There's no need for going forward. And to talk about the graphical power, Mario Kart 8 runs with 2 players split screen on the Switch itself in 60 FPS.
So same as the Wii U.
Gorgeous, yes. And that's so great in that little device. So we have some great power in there. But I think Zelda, that big overworld just takes many things away. But
Yeah, I'm not
it pays out
surprised.
in the end.
Okay,
Yes.
let's see. Oh well, we are watching the Treehouse live stream footage. As we saw, they were supposed to give the apple to the horse, but they gave it to the dog instead. So. But no, I know you didn't get to play outside of the plateau, but you probably got a better sense of the story maybe, and how it played during action sequences. There were no slowdowns,
Not at all.
no problems.
I think it as I said, it doesn't run as well as in that Jimmy Fallon presentation. but it runs perfectly. But one thing, the only thing I didn't like, if you see that presentation stream, when you turn around, there's no turning animation. It's just like in the old Zelda games. Link just turns himself, and that's a little bit rough. But that's the only thing I recognized there.
But how was the transition from traditional Zelda games to Breath of the Wild for you, especially on the Switch?
It's, as you would think, it feels like a Zelda game, but it's a complete new experience, really. Yes, in general, that's the case.
I see.
But it really feels. Before that, I played Majora's Mask on the 3DS, right some hours before that event, and it feels very similar to that.
Okay. Do you have a new 3DS with like the little nipple on it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So is it the same sort of camera controls? I'm pretty sure it will be.
Yes.
So okay, standard.
And what surprised me, the Pro Controller is nice, but it's very expensive. But
I know.
The Joy-Con grip, it feels so good. You might think it's a little bit too big because it's like nearly quadratical. I don't know how to say that. Like squarish, but it feels very good.
I was wondering, like, it looks really uncomfortable to hold, but
yes,
I know Nintendo they're usually quite good with like their ergonomics and stuff. Like GameCube controller, Wii U Pro controller, they all feel really good to hold. So I never doubted that it would, like the good Joy-Cons together would feel all right to hold, but they just look awkward. It's like a little square controller. It doesn't really look like a controller. It's weird. But it's always Nintendo to do something different. So
speaking about accessories, we also got some new amiibos for Breath of the Wild. We already had the Link amiibo, we had the Guardian amiibo, and we had Link on horseback amiibo. But we got two more that was of Zelda and a Bokoblin, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So I think people can see the Zelda amiibo right now. It looks very. I wonder what it will do.
Mm-hmm. You will be able to see it in at the Switch Hands-On event. They are in like a glass box, but you can't try them out.
Do you think it will do the same thing as, like, say, the Smash Zelda amiibo? Do you think it'll do the same thing as that?
I have no idea.
Because I really hope that, like, the Archer Link amiibo doesn't just do the same as, like, the Smash Link amiibo or like the Ocarina of Time Link amiibo or something like that. I hope it has a different purpose, which I'm sure it will, but
I hope so, but I have no idea on that. So I see some people here arguing about the 60 FPS. It's not 60 FPS at all. Not on dock mode. It's between 20 and 30 FPS. But believe me, it looks great. You don't recognize that these.
But do you think it's just a port of the Wii U version, or did they do something more?
I think so. Yes, it looks pretty similar.
There's a few graphics comparison videos on YouTube, like IGN did one, Game Explained did one. So I think there is a clear-cut difference. Like the Switch trailer did look better, especially like as in the Wii U version had it had a decent render distance, but I noticed in the Switch trailer a lot of like the mountains and stuff are more clear and they're less sort of faded. I suppose that is just the render distance, isn't it? It's just the power of the console, but I think it definitely does look better on the Switch.
Yes.
True, there's a massive improvement, and we see now the loading times are just nothing compared to the Wii U. Going from entering a shrine or exiting a shrine could take up to 30 seconds on the Wii U. It takes 10 seconds on the Switch.
Yes.
So that would probably be the biggest improvement that we see, because you will not have to sit and wait the whole time. Wait when you die, wait when you enter a shrine, wait when you enter a new area. We don't know if there would be loading screens when entering new regions, say Death Mountain or Gerudo Desert, but
there wasn't a loading screen when jumping off the Great Plateau, which we saw in this gameplay, so that's a bonus because that's a big area to load and deload. So hopefully it just does it seamlessly.
It was very seamless. That's right. So yeah, I will just get some new music. So just you can continue talking the meanwhile.
What did you, Reuven, think of the? Did you hear the stable theme in the recent gameplay, the Treehouse gameplay? At the part where they're near the stable, I can't remember the name of the stable. You can hear like a stable theme, and it's. I mean, you'd be far better at analyzing this than me. But it sounds to me like a sort of broken version of Epona's theme. It's got a similar note structure, which I think is a nice touch.
Yes, that's a good point, because as I said in my music explained video, Epona's song is like the key of the Breath of the Wild soundtrack in its structure and in its notes and in its keys, so from the key standpoint, and because of that the nature plays the biggest role in that game, and Epona's song and the Romani or Lon Lon Range song is that's the biggest nature-ish but very calm theme from Zelda, and that's one of the main themes. The Zelda Breath of the Wild theme takes his ideas from. Yes.
I'm glad that because we saw this stable theme, it's pretty much confirming that we'll still have the Zelda tradition of areas in the overworld will have their own theme, not just sort of random broken notes. You'll actually have themes, so like a Kakariko village theme or a Lon Lon Ranch theme or something like that. You'll have things similar to that, which I thought Zelda without that would be a sort of watered down Zelda, because one of the best parts for me, and I suppose for most people about Zelda, is the music by a long shot.
So yeah, no, I just want to point out that the Nintendo stream had a ton of problem in terms of lag. So this is not the frame rate you see on the Switch. I just want to point it out because Nintendo struggled a lot with their stream yesterday. This doesn't give a fair impression of the way they played it. So yeah, but what about the other games? Do you think the lineup is good enough for the Switch?
I have my problems with it, because yes, you have Zelda at launch, but it was a Wii U game even when the Switch wasn't even made, and so it's more likely a Wii U game, even if most of us will play it on the Switch. And then Mario Kart, after nearly 2 months, is a little bit late, I think, because it's a port. Splatoon 2 really looks like Splatoon 1, so Skyrim is a 5-year-old game. It comes out in autumn, I think. Mario is amazing. I'm absolutely stunned by this game, but it will come out in nearly 1 year, even if 3D World released about, I think, 4 years ago or something like that. So that's a little bit that was a little bit frustrating for me, because also at the hands-on event they weren't that much games. But I think they will announce many games in the future, because they also had that. They had the E3 like in 3 months after the Switch review, after the Switch comes out. So they have to balance that, and I think there will be many games at E3. The ones I played perfectly well on the Switch.
Sorry, did you say you played ARMS?
Yes, I did.
I really like the look of ARMS. How does it feel to play?
Yes, it feels very good. It's very funny because it's very intuitive.
Were you playing with the Joy-Cons or with like a standard controller?
No, you're holding the Joy-Cons like in your fist, upright. You have to hold them very closely together, and then you can make like it looks like if you would dance. You have to make these funny moves, and then there will be like finishers and some combinations you can make. It is really funny, but and it looks good from a graphical standpoint. But yes, you have to. No, I don't know how to say that, but yes, it's really nice. It's a really nice game.
Okay, Reuven, the big question Do you think you will be able to recreate portions of the new, the song on the story trailer?
I try to. I could also make that Life in Ruins trailer. That's not so difficult, but we'll see. I have to try it out. It's very difficult. It's a very complex theme, and it will take some time.
So what makes it complex? Because we had an Inside Breath of the Wild episode about the soundtrack in this game, and how it's much more organic compared to previous Zelda installments.
Yes, but the soundtracks we heard already were very, like, if someone plays on the piano, and it's very organic, as you said, and it's very based on random notes that someone on the piano is playing. But that trailer was like a big orchestral piece, more of a style of classical Zelda themes, and to recreate that is pretty difficult. I'll try it. Yes, but
indeed.
There's a guy asking in the chat a lot about whether we think there'll be a musical instrument in Breath of the Wild, as in like an Ocarina of Time or a Wind Waker or something like that. What do you guys think?
I don't know that. I cannot say that, but if they do it, it's just another feature that will make the game so full of features and ideas. I think it's only that big world, and if you have the dungeons and then the weapons and everything like that, that's so much. I think an instrument would add something to that, but I think it's already nearly enough of features and ideas and gameplay ideas. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, as we spoke previously, we are going to have a meetup with the other guys from the European section of the Chamber of Sages, that being Zeltik, me, and Dr. Wiley in Sweden on February the 4th. That is the headquarters of Nintendo Sweden, Bergsala. So if you have the possibility and the opportunity, you should definitely come and check. It's an open Nintendo Switch event in Europe. That is rather rare, based on the information that has been shared. And we will be there around 10 a.m. Wiley has his plane pretty early, I think. It was 14:00? Yeah, I think so.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. So he might leave early, say 11 o'clock or something. So if you are there, try to be there around 10.
My flight's in the evening, so I'll be there all day-ish.
Same here. We might be heading to the town just to be in close proximity to a bus or a train to get back to our homes. But yeah, and a pub, of course. So yeah.
Of course.
We will also be live streaming from Sweden, depending on the internet connection we have at the Airbnb that we will be sleeping at. But look forward to that one, guys. So,
yeah. Thank you again. I mean, it's not even my stream, but if anyone did watch my stream, thank you for the people who donated to help me get there.
And speaking of donations, I forget about something. Guess what I forgot, Ed?
You forgot to put the donation button thing?
Yeah. Typical Conrad.
What do you guys think about the blue and red Joy-Cons? Because personally, I really don't like how they look when they're actually like docked. When they're like apart, they look fine, but when they're actually on the Switch, because it goes blue, grey, red, I think it looks poor when it's together. But that's just my opinion.
It looks crazy. If you in real life, it looks very, very crazy, but it looks pretty sweet. So I like that combination of colors. But as I said, it's
I need to chroma key this. Damn it.
I'm very surprised there was no Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch bundle announced.
Yes.
As in, like, with the Wind Waker one, like, I've got my Wind Waker gamepad somewhere, you know, with all the gold patterns and everything. I'm surprised it got nothing like that for Breath of the Wild.
Yes. But I could think that they will announce it, because the box art of the complete Switch console, it doesn't look finished. So I think they may announce the real box art of the Switch console and some bundles with it. As well, we we didn't know anything about new tracks for the single-player Mario Kart 8, and I think that's another one. We know that it's existing, but we have to wait until they announce that, and I think that goes the same with the Zelda bundle. Maybe in a direct in February or March. February, most likely.
It seems a bit weird to not announce a bundle if they're going to do one. To not announce one now, and announce it a month before the Switch release. But it is Nintendo; they make strange calls. So
yes,
I can't predict what they're going to do. No, some of the new you were just saying. Some of the new Mario Kart 8 tracks look awesome. Like I love the Splatoon one. It's I can't remember what the actual Splatoon map's called. The one in Escape Park. Not Urchin Underpass. I don't know. Someone in the chat will correct me, regardless. But that looks awesome, and I'm glad we've got the Inklings in it as well. I'm a massive Mario Kart 8 fan. So
yes, me too. It's
absolutely
amazing.
Getting that.
Yeah, it's definitely the best Mario Kart game now with the fixed battle mode, because that was the only thing that was dragging this game down.
And it a little bit it feels like Double Dash, even if it's one player. But when you drive and I played the game. It was the first game I played on the hands-on event, and then I drove on these tracks, and then I saw double item boxes that were stick together like a Double Dash, and you can pick them up and you get two items at once, and that's so amazing. I just thought, yes, that's completely like Double Dash, even if it's the single player mode, and it was so beautiful to see. It really.
Oh, sorry, no, go on.
No.
The double items make me so hyped for them to announce. I mean, they haven't said anything about it, but if they do a double dash mode DLC, they have to do it. It's free money. It's free money.
Yes,
that'd be so good. Double Dash is probably my second favorite Mario Kart after Mario Kart 8. I just love it. It's amazing. So if they did something like that, instant.
Yes, I think Mario Kart 8 had very few mistakes, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe deletes everything from them. And when you play the Wii U gamepad, you see that it's streamed from a Wii U, and you don't really think that this is happening in that machine. As well as from the PS Vita, you can play from the PS4 streamed. And if you take the Switch for the first time, you also think that that's streamed. That's too good to be on that device. You really think that it's streamed, but it's not. It's all happening in the palm of your hands instead, and that's pretty amazing.
Wicked.
Yeah, I just want to turn on another video so people can enjoy. Okay, so let's see if we can just get this donation stuff going on.
Okay, Zelda's new design, as in Princess Zelda. What do you two think? Are you a fan? Yeah?
I think it looks actually pretty stunning.
I like it.
It fits the style of the game, and that's the most important.
I like the way she isn't all, like princessy anymore. She's a lot more, I mean, at least in her traveler's clothes, she's a lot more, I don't know, rugged.
Badass.
Badass, that's the word. She doesn't look like an, ooh, save me sort of person anymore, which I like. Even though we will probably have to save her because the king says it in the trailer, but still, I do like Zelda.
I think it will be a little bit different this time around, because usually when you say Zelda, it is, well, she's just a damsel in distress. Yeah. This time around, it looks like she will kick some ass. Yeah,
like the bit in the trailer where she's like, there's a guardian and she's doing the light thing. So cool.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, then we go.
Have you got everything sorted?
I have got everything sorted. So, let me just explain, guys. The thing is that for a long time I've wanted to remaster the Legend of Zelda Timeline that we did back in March last year when Twilight Princess HD came out. And below this stream in the description, you can see a link that can help us on our way to make that video come true. Not only come true, but also be narrated fully by the voiceover Lord Jason Dameron. And if we could reach that goal, say by the launch of Breath of the Wild, we will be able to bring him to narrate the entire thing. And that would mean a lot to this channel, and I think it would also mean a lot to the Zelda community, because getting a full Zelda timeline narrated by one person over a long time would be pretty perfect for the entire community. So we're remastering with, of course, original music, the story of Breath of the Wild, but we will probably put the story at the end so people will not get spoiled while watching the video. So go and check it out. The link is in the description below this stream. I can just share it for you now for a second. So let's just find it. It's on Twitch Streamlabs, and all income will go to remastering the complete Zelda timeline with superb voice acting, narration, and so on. So here you go. So let's hope that you are hype for such a video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll also put the alerts so we can make sure that you get the proper attention when you donate. So that's it. Okay, so we're watching this gameplay from yesterday, and we see how you tame horses. You just fly onto them, and that's more or less it.
Fly onto them.
I don't think it would be this easy with horses in real life.
No.
Yes.
Well, we can see we've got the hint that some are more difficult. Like in the Treehouse stream, there was that one guy speaking, like he was talking to an old guy who was saying there's some sort of like his family's horse or something's been spotted, and he says this one will be harder to tame, but I assume you'll either be able to give it back to him for rupees or something, or perhaps keep it and it'll be a better horse. I don't know. I'm not sure how the horse system's going to work entirely, and how Epona's going to fit into that, if she does.
That's true. Oh, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I think that in many ways, the change from Epona to other horses is an interesting twist, because you will have different style of horses. Horses that will obey you, horses that will not obey you, horses that will be better for, let's say, fast travel, horses that will be better to carry equipment, because that might also be a mechanic in this game, especially since you're registering all the horses you get in order to be able to get them from these stables, because they're not bazaars, they're not markets, they're stables to just keep your horses whenever you need one. So what do you think about that mechanic, that you will not be able to call your horse, but you will rather have to get them from these stables?
Well, I mean, it makes a little bit more sense than, I mean, teleporting horses around stables still doesn't make too much sense, but it makes more sense than, like, for example, The Witcher 3. Wherever you are, pretty much you can whistle for Roach, who's basically the Epona of that game.
And stupid as all hell.
Yeah, and the horse just appears out of nowhere. So it's a little bit more realistic than that, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then again, the horse in The Witcher was, well, pretty retarded, if you ask me. He constantly walked into invisible borders and so on. So yeah. Okay, let me just save the settings so we can get the alert going on. And then we will just be able to launch this thing as well.
Okay.
Looks, I need a different color in the background.
Right. Well, I'm really sorry I'm going to have to drop out now, if that's all right. Thank you for having me on your stream, though.
That was great, Ed. Thank you, and good luck with your assignments.
Thank you, and thank you to all 800 and whatever are actually watching. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's not
Thanks
bad.
for having me. See ya.
See ya. So yeah. No, I'm actually working on a big video now with Zeltik and Dr. Wiley. It's a third three-parter about some of the story in Breath of the Wild and why things doesn't fit in compared to past Zelda games.
Mm-hmm.
A little explanation as to what is the philosophy behind all of these decisions.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how they do all of this.
Definitely. And as I told you, I can make. When do you schedule the complete Zelda timeline video for which?
That thing will be in the beginning of March. I want to have it out by the launch of the game.
So then we can say that I will make the soundtrack for the whole video, like in many styles, always fitting to the video. We can make that in March.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess that could work, but we'll just have to wait and see. I
Yes.
guess. So now, for the moment, it's a little bit hard to point out exactly how we do it. I guess from Breath of the Wild we'll definitely need, because those tracks will probably be copyrighted as all. Yeah, you know. You know how it works with those Nintendo tracks, especially Zelda. And the newer Zeldas. I think they're claiming everything from what do they call them again? Everything from Twilight Princess HD and definitely Breath of the Wild. So that is one policy I hope Nintendo would get better at, but so far no improvements, unfortunately. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully we'll get better.
Yes. Yes, Chopin is one of my most favorite composers, alongside with Johannes Brahms, if you are interested. Someone asked that in the chat.
Oh, what did they ask?
What my favorite classical composer is. And yes. You could also, someone very unpopular, Erno Donani is called. He wrote an incredible second piano concerto. If you want to look that up, it sounds very cool. Also, if you're a Zelda fan, that could sound pretty cool. Yes. What do you think about the box art of Breath of the Wild, especially the comparison between US and UK?
That is so controversial.
Yes, I think the US version is that slightly darker one with a sunset in the background. That looks so great.
Yeah, they did an amazing job with the Master Edition.
Yes.
And we in Europe just get a little piece of it, I guess. Not that much. I can show it what we're getting in Europe. Just let me put this one on hold. No, that's not that one. Give me a second here. Where did you go?
And what do you think about the general box art designs from Nintendo Switch? Like it's white.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
Yes.
The box art doesn't have that much to say anyway, so
Yes.
we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not sure how Nintendo will do all of this, but this is how Nintendo works. That's how they want to market this game, and yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Yes.
It's that simple. So yeah, here's the. So here we go. This is the special edition of the Master Sword. The one we're getting in Europe is a bit disappointing, though. Europe always gets the most shitty stuff, unfortunately.
Yes.
That's how it is. Nintendo, they don't love us. They don't like us.
Yes, they have something against European people.
Why? It's not we that. Well, I'm not going to go into that territory. Well, let's keep World War II out of this. So yeah, okay. I just want to put up also the different alerts. How was the event in Frankfurt, by the way? How did they set up everything?
It looked very cool. Maybe I got some pictures. There were many famous German YouTubers, and I took some selfies with the general Nintendo Germany master CEO or something like that. One moment, maybe I can hold it in to the camera. One moment.
I'm just showing.
You can't see. Yes, it looked pretty cool, and it was calm. It wasn't very messy. There was it was calm. Not so much people. You could talk to everyone. The Nintendo attendees were very polite and friendly to you. Yes, it was a very nice event. Even if I think there were a little bit too few games.
Yeah, but because there are not that many games coming for launch of the Switch.
Yes.
But they're getting Breath of the Wild, so who cares?
Yes, but I'm hoping that at least Treehouse streams they could announce one or two more interesting games. Some third-party games. We didn't. I'm composing for 2 games in the development for Switch. I can't talk about them at the moment, but one of them will be presented later this year, and it will be pretty cool. But there's not so much games at the moment to look forward to at launch. But the device itself is just amazing when you take it in your hands, and it feels so good, and the graphics are so nice, and how everything works. It's really one of the best consoles I ever saw.
So you never played a better console?
No, not at all. I think at the moment I'm pretty. I like the PlayStation 4 because it has some good games and it works well and it runs well. It has decent specs and graphical power, and everything just works well. So that's what a console should be. But Switch is like 10 times better because you just had that feature to take it with you, and that's so simple, but it's just incredibly. It's just awesome. And
yeah, that's the thing about the Switch. It's so versatile. You can bring it wherever you want.
Yes, and it's like these modular smartphones. You can make it this way and that way. It's not like the Wii U where you have to stick to that gamepad. But you can try whatever you want with the Switch. And that HD Rumble feature feels so great. It's just you have to try it out when you're in Sweden. When you have that hands-on event, that's so great. It really feels totally realistic. There was a game where you had to guess how many little balls are in the controller itself, in one of the Joy-Cons, and you have to turn it, and then you get like a glimpse of how they would feel if they were moving around in that Joy-Con controller. And they said they can add up to 9 balls in that little controller, and it just felt so great. That's part of the 1-2 Switch minigame collection.
True. Yeah, the 1-2 Switch is one of the games I was most disappointed about because I thought Nintendo had stopped making those type of games.
Yes, but I think they just needed to make another game to put it in the box. And
they could have put Zelda, it would have moved much more units.
Yes, and as I started the live stream, I thought when 1-2 Switch was announced that it was Red Dead Redemption 2. Did anyone else thought about that the same way? I just and when I told it to the people at the event, they also said yes, that was. I thought it was Red Dead Redemption 2, and yes, then it was 1-2 Switch, but. Yeah.
That's true. So yeah. It's just great to know that the game is coming out in just a few weeks.
Yes.
That we don't have to wait to say November. Because the fact that we in Europe don't have to wait that long. But one thing that annoys me is when you play as Link on horse, he keeps saying ha 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 ha.
Yes. Maybe they just added that for nostalgic people because it reminds you of Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. But
right.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I think Nintendo's done a great job marketing-wise with the Nintendo Switch.
Absolutely. Also at the event, it was like Christmas, Switchmas. It was really like Christmas for me. You have that logo, and it's like for example, from Apple. You see that logo, and you absolutely know what that thing is, and everything was red. That's the new old Nintendo color, and from a marketing standpoint, that was absolutely great how they did that.
And the way the game has been built, there's so much thought to each location. How they are placed, say, explosive barrels,
Yes.
so that you can approach enemies in so many different ways. You can go all stealthy, or you can go.
Yes. Yes, that's also amazing when you're playing and you can switch between the normal mode and the stealth mode, but just pressing X, I think. Don't know that, but you have like a stealth button, and that's so dynamic. You can change it everywhere, like with other big open world games, but this is Zelda, and that's pretty cool. And I want to say one thing. Forgot it. Never mind.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about the next few weeks. I think will go pretty fast, but then it will get closer and closer to release, and it will be tough to wait. It was tough to not play Zelda this Christmas.
Yes.
Already.
But I think the hardest time is done, because that whole waiting for NX and what that was, like 2 years, that was really really bad. And I think yes, January is nearly half done. Then in February, and basically when March starts, we are in a Breath of the Wild hype.
So yes.
It's
I think this game will probably be Game of the Year in many regards.
Yes.
Because of the scale of the game. It has tough competition. The Mario game is coming out. We know that also the what is that game called again? Last of Us Part 2 is coming out. So there is. I hope that people will just see that this is a game changer more than anything, and that is probably the most important thing to remember in terms of the Switch, in terms of Zelda. It is
Also
a game like no other.
Yes, Red Dead 2 is also coming out. I don't know if Last of Us makes it in 2017, but Red Dead is also on the line. But I think with Zelda and Mario, they have two very strong titles. And if you think about it, yes, the launch lineup doesn't seem to be that great, but watching the presentation and seeing they're doing with Zelda one of the biggest games of all time in Nintendo history, and it's just a completely new take on the open world game genre. And as well, they have Mario, which is like it could be another open world game from Nintendo, and it looks so amazing. And yes, I think they have an incredible lineup for that first year. If they add GameCube Virtual Console, maybe some remakes, Mother 3, that's very good.
Yeah. But Zelda will kill it, and they know it. They know that Zelda will move Switches.
Yes. And
Switches will move Zelda.
Yes. There was that rumor that Mario and Zelda were both at launch, or Mario first and then Zelda in summer. But I think Zelda would just kill Mario. Everyone will talk about Zelda, but I think Mario is also a very important game and a very cool game. And from my childhood, Mario is a little bit more important than Zelda. So these are two just really amazing games. And if they would come out too closely together, maybe that wouldn't have worked. So I think we can be proud of Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo has really outdone themselves with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and
Yes.
hopefully they will be able to keep this up until Mario comes out. But this
Yes,
game
I'm
will,
German.
I think this game could take up to 1 month to complete. Because if you want to really get the feel for the world, feel for the content, yeah, there might be just 4 main dungeons in this game, but that doesn't matter when the full game will take so much time to complete.
Yes.
Just watching this trailer each time, I just start to cry.
Yes.
It's so good.
As well. It's really great. And also, it's like it erased 2 of the biggest concerns people had with Zelda. That the music is not as epic as in older Zelda games, and it's not orchestral.
But the new trailer,
it absolutely nails with the music. And the second concern people had, that maybe it wouldn't have so much story and so much emotion and nice characters. But that trailer, you see it and you see it has an amazing, a very big open world. You have great music, outstanding music. You have great graphics, and you have a great story. And yes, what do you want more from a Zelda game that day? I think that's a really important title for Nintendo. Maybe the most important in the next years and from the last few years. And bright times ahead.
That's true. I was just mind blown away by this trailer.
Yes.
So no, I can't really wait until Nintendo shows something more. But yeah, let's just find the treehouse again. I want to show why we in Europe are so disappointed about the fact that they didn't show us basically anything compared to the American Master Edition bundle.
How is your day going so far?
My day's
So,
going
yeah.
great. I understand I fixed the stream.
Good job, thank you.
Yeah, they had a ton of
So,
problems
we're
with
having
their
a-
stream.
We're having a great day.
Yes.
So,
Oh my god,
we kicked
it was a
off this
shame
morning.
because it was
We
so
recapped
important.
some of the announcements that happened
The stream as
overnight.
well.
We have a packed house
Yes.
folks,
Yeah, oh my god.
media influencers getting their hands on.
I saw you made
Really
a
excited as tomorrow, so
recreation
let's
of
get
the Mario
some hands-on,
theme as well.
buzz and the reaction to the games.
No, I just made a Dire Dogs rendition for the next Mario game. But I'm doing some like Mexican style music for the Mario trailer.
Yeah, I've been sneaking peeks out the door over there when
But
it breaks
we'll
the
have to
news.
see. I have very much to do at the moment, composing for some games that are in development.
You kind of get what it's about when you get your
And
hands on it and you feel
yes,
the
we'll see
rumbles and
that.
you're actually doing the movements, but it looks
Absolutely.
like people are having a good time.
They're having a great time. You know, we know that the content is fantastic. We know it's going to play so well. There is always a challenge of, okay, so how do you communicate it? How do you communicate all of the fun?
Yes, the Wii U is absolutely
And earlier today,
absolutely
the
dead.
team play it and really communicate it here on Treehouse Live. I think hopefully now the fans at home are getting a sense of just how great the content is to play. And
So yeah, people are asking what the donation is for. The donation is simply that we want to remaster the complete Zelda timeline that we did back in March. As you all know, it's around 50 minutes long. It will be over 50 minutes with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in it. And yeah, we want it fully narrated by the voiceover lord Jason Dameron and create the ultimate Zelda lore video. So if you have the chance and the possibility, then we would be very appreciative if you would be able to donate a little bit. We need to get around $500 to make that dream come true, to make the ultimate Zelda video of all time. And because we will do the complete Zelda timeline with Breath of the Wild, fully narrated by a very, very good voice actor. And that is probably the biggest project I will be making, at least in the first half of the year. the remaster of that game. I mean of that video. So yeah. No, Nintendo's not live, but I fell asleep when the Treehouse got to the Zelda gameplay. We are now looking at the Master Edition bundle that we're not getting in the Europe. So yeah, the Master Sword looks good, but it looks a little bit cheap.
You'll see them pop up.
Yes, that's right.
It's not really that solid plastic.
Of this series, this set.
It looks. It's almost like it was made of paper.
Yes, and I'm hoping that they will release the soundtrack on vinyl, so for turntables, because I bought one for the recording of the Ocarina of Time soundtrack with a real orchestra. And if they do that with a Breath of the Wild soundtrack, that would be really amazing. But I think they're just releasing it for CD. But we have to wait for that.
Yeah, that's true. And Reggie, by the way, did a mistake during the Treehouse live stream yesterday. He showed us the reverse side of the parchment. You know, the map. He's about to bring it out. Let me just see. That is spoiler territory, so I don't think we'll be entering that. Let's see. Nope. That's spoiler. Let's go into something else, I guess. Because that is a spoiler. Okay, let me just turn on something else in the meanwhile, I guess. Actually, we can move a few seconds. Yeah, there we go.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, he was showing it the wrong side. So this is the map of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, showing Central Hyrule, showing the Snow Peak area, the Death Mountain area, and so on. It is exactly the same as we believed it would be. And it hasn't changed that much since the Game Awards. So yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm just trying to get this donation going because we need all support that we can get to make this video possible, because it's a ton of work, and we also need a narration from, say, the voice overlord Jason Dameron. Yeah. So what we see here is that there are, just as I've said in Zelda Unknown, I got almost all my predictions right in this game. We got Zoras, which live around this area, a little bit south, I guess. This is Zora's domain. Then you got Death Mountain, where the Gorons live naturally. Snow Peak, or the mountain area in the north, where the birds live, I guess. And then your bird race. The Gerudo naturally in the desert, where we also got at Gerudo Town. And then we have the Hylians in central Hyrule and spread across the land, apart from, of course, Hyrule Castle Town, which is a smoking ruin in this game. So yeah, can't wait. This will be very, very interesting. Yeah. Let's look at the trailer again. Look frame by frame, I think. This. I'll put it on 25%, and when we get to the most important sections, I guess. Blah, blah, blah. Because the most important section of this trailer starts at 141. I think. There we go. Let's just go through all the details that we got correct from Zelda Unknown, because I didn't have time to talk about it last time. Because yeah, we got these moblins, bokoblin, lizard foes being summoned by Ganon. The theme of corruption will play a lot of emphasis in this game.
Yes.
How things will be corrupted or non-corrupted, and that will determine all if they're hostile or not. But one exception is the Sheikah, though, and they were hinted at here as well, as we see the Walrus and Molgra fight. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe the wait is almost over.
It is.
Yeah, that scene there where you see the Sheikah eye.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we could just get that one again. And my god, the boss in this game, it's Shadow of the Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder how you will beat these guys. It's okay, one-on-one against, say, those people as well. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got another donation. Thank you so much for donating. And each time someone donates, you will get that awesome Link shooting a Guardian with a light arrow. So keep on going. We are getting there.
One more information for Mario Kart Switch. It has 2 new items, the feather, but it doesn't do anything, so I think that's a pretty useless item. But the ghost returns, and that's pretty cool, because you can steal the items and you are invisible. That's pretty cool. I just wanted to add that. Yes.
Yeah.
And as well, for everyone who joined in, Mario Kart 8 is at the moment the best looking Switch game. It looks amazing. It plays amazing.
It was also the best looking Wii U game, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yes, and especially on handheld mode. You can play it on handheld with 2 Joy-Cons, and it runs at 60 FPS and split screen mode, split screen multiplayer like the Wii U version did, and that's.
One thing I noticed in the during the trailer is that no matter how far away from the explosive barrels you shoot the fire arrow, it's so sensitive. Just look at this. It barely strikes the ground in between those 2 barrels, and it blows up the entire thing. So it will be pretty easy to create chain reactions in this game.
Yes.
People will make stunt out of the Cryonis and Stasis Sheikah runes. And we finally also got a close look at the Sheikah pillars standing outside Hyrule Castle, keeping Calamity Ganon sealed. So yeah.
Yes.
This looks really amazing. Calamity Ganon. That battle will probably be something else. And yeah, we got this town that some people have told me is the same town that we saw along the coastline.
Ah, okay.
In the E3 trailer. Because you have the same hut at the top. This hut right there. Then we got the return of potions. That is good to know. Red, blue, green, and yellow. The same. Okay, so it's the same structure as we had in most Zelda games. Though we don't have magic, but I guess that is stamina. Blue is both, and then we have red, which is normal. Replenishing. And it looks much more well built, this village. But we also got a new symbol. Oh, it's perfect to play Outrun Village while we look at this village. I love the windmills, a call back to traditional Zelda. Zelda villages. Oh my god, the Gerudo town.
I just love everything in that trailer.
In the second episode of Zelda Unknown, which was the 3rd video I uploaded on this channel, I said I want a town in the desert and I want a Middle Eastern town. And they made exactly that. That is how towns look like in the Middle East, say 200 or 300 years ago.
Yes.
And it's so great because the Gerudo are back for the first time since let me think. I think it's 4 Swords Adventures. Was the last time we saw Gerudo. Gruz doesn't count since he might have created the Gerudo tribe later on, but I don't think anything else. And seeing the Gerudo symbol again after all these years is so great. Yeah.
I think in general that whole Switch lineup and how it's working is just exactly what the fans wanted. We are hearing about Mother 3, Metroid, and a new 3D Mario that's as open as it never was. Breath of the Wild makes everything right. It's just the whole thing, Nintendo Switch, everything is just exactly what the fans wanted, and that's so great to hear.
Yeah,
Even if there are not so much games at the moment announced, but it's just, it's really, I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, it's true. And when you look close on some of these scenes, you just see, of course, how destroyed Hyrule Castle Town is.
Mhm.
They're not messing around this time.
Yes.
They're putting all their effort into creating a game that will be as memorable as... Well, they're trying to beat the best Zelda games of all time,
Yes.
no matter what it is. If it
Yes.
is Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, for some it's Skyward Sword because of the story, Wind Waker because of the exploration, and so on.
Mhm. Yes.
So yeah. And seeing Link possibly even dying in this game, especially in the past, is just
Mhm.
wow. And the
Yes.
symbol of rebirth, the flower, the nature emphasis
Mhm.
is I don't have words.
Mhm. Me too. I mean,
And when you see how damn big this world is, oh my god.
yes, and so much attention to detail when it comes to the animals and the other people.
And you
That's
just
how
see
everything.
small shrines and people living in different places where you would not expect to meet people. And then you
Yes.
suddenly meet a random NPC that is fighting some bokoblins, and you can help him. Maybe he will even give you a quest. Who knows?
Mhm. And yes, I think.
And this is
it's
just a small portion of the map. My
Yes. And if they do the story as great as I think they will do, that could be a game we will be playing in 10 years. And we will say that was really a game changer. And that's just so... The scope of that game, the atmosphere, the music, the art style, everything is so consistent.
It's true. It's very consistent, and I really love the attention to quality throughout this game.
Yes.
There's no. I can't point out one section at the moment where Breath of the Wild is not as good as previous Zelda installments,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
that is such a great thing to think about, especially if you have this. Let's get this scene back again, because the trailer had a lot of spoilers when you think about it.
Mhm.
This thing is inside a Cameleon, which is how the real dungeons will probably look in this game. But
Mhm.
you have the shrines, we have the colossi. I refuse to call them guardians because we have already one guardian.
Mhm.
You could call them maybe king guardians.
Mhm.
Like you, yeah. Who cares? I see them as more as a shadow of the Colossus type boss enemy. And
Mhm.
seeing Zelda in the same place as in Skyward Sword, it's just this game is all over the place.
Mhm.
You have a little Ocarina of Time, you have a little Twilight Princess, you have a little Wind Waker, you have a little the original Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword as mentioned in the past.
And while doing everything so perfectly well, we have known the Zelda series for doing, it also breaks every other boundary. It just makes everything we have known from the Zelda games, it just makes everything so much better and so much more open while keeping the core gameplay experience. It's really the perfect game for the Switch's launch.
But what do you think about these scenes from the past? Do you think they will just be... do you think they will just be cutscenes from the past, or do you think we'll get some game sections, just like you had in The Witcher 3, where you played a series, memories in the past?
I have no idea. I think with Breath of the Wild, we're taking many things from other state-of-the-art games, like other open-world games, where you, like in Far Cry, for example, where you have some other people that assist you in the fight, and the open world just feels very vibrant and very organic. And I think another stylistic device of these modern games are that you are playing in different times, but where gameplay footage is telling the story and not and not just cutscenes. So I could think about that they are also that they will have some playable storytelling gameplay elements playing in the past.
Right. No, I'm especially excited about these giant bosses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's perfect with the theme we also got on, because fighting in this case the camel, because there were 4 of these giant colossi,
Mm-hmm.
and some believe that it's probable that they were controlled by the different tribes, but they were then taken over by Calamity Ganon and corrupted. Because we all see them are red, just like the chameleon we saw previously.
Yes.
And this scene is also probably from either the present or past. It's just a little bit hard to say, because in the scenes where we see Link having the Master Sword, it's easy to say if it's in the past or present. But in this case, it's not. Yeah, that's it. Oh my god. Can't really put words to how much hype I am for this game.
Me too. And then you can always think about that you can play it on the go, and that's just another great feature from the Switch. And I have one more thing to talk about here: the HD Rumble. As I said, it feels really very good and very realistic. And someone told me that they will also use it in other games, obviously. So, for example, if you're playing Skyrim, you will feel the instruments and the devices you can use, like for opening a door, and you will really feel it in your hands because you're holding the Joy-Cons in your hands. And I think that will make an incredible experience. And I also think that could be used very well for some Zelda sequences. For example, when you're riding the horse, or using bow and arrow. There wasn't that much implementation of the HD Rumble in the gameplay demo. I think it was nothing, but maybe when the game is out, they could use it. And it feels so much different than every other controller Rumble features have.
Yeah, and that's great to know, because we know how important sound and vibrations will be in Breath of the Wild. You even have a small icon showing you the sound level.
Yes.
So
they can make
the
it so immersive.
Sound music will be very key to how this game plays, which we've never seen in the past in Zelda. And we have also not seen scenes like this, where you see all Link and Zelda all trashed up and near death. Well, we saw Zelda near death in Twilight Princess, though that scene was very weird, where she sacrifices herself to Midna, and the scene with Girahim and Zelda in Skyward Sword, and this reveal of Zelda. She looks great. The design is awesome this time.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed. So yeah.
Nice.
It will be interesting to see how this turns out. And damn, they burned down my castle town. I wanted to explore that place. They're doing just what they did in Ocarina of Time. Trash the place and then say, oh, the world has gone under because the main town is destroyed.
Yes, that's because you are European and they just want to make the things you don't want.
Yeah, exactly. Because we want to explore medieval towns, just like you live in Heidelberg. Yeah, and that is one of the most beautiful German romantic cities along the Rhine Valley. Is it the Rhine Valley or?
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh, no, it's no, Heidelberg is a city. It's pretty. I think it's from the size. It's about top 25 German cities.
One day we should do a meetup with fans in Heidelberg.
Maybe if I have some some more subscribers when I could do that. Yes. Or maybe I'm thinking about making a concert somewhere in Germany, where playing piano and maybe something with orchestra. And yes, that's one thing I'm planning.
Hmm.
Maybe I could get the licenses for playing Zelda music. That would be awesome. And
Yeah, because you can get a license to play Zelda music.
yes,
Hmm.
um,
How does it work,
that's-
by the way, obtaining such a license?
in Germany you can do that over the GEMA.
Hmm.
So that's a way to do that. But otherwise, I didn't really inform myself about that. So I have to wait for that. But yes, I may think about orchestrating the Forest Symphony to be played by a 70-piece orchestra.
Wow.
That would be pretty cool.
So
Um,
when you make your Zelda pieces, you make them with an orchestra, or do you make them on software?
I make them via software.
Hmm.
I bought some sound plugins and sound pieces from a live recorded orchestra,
Hmm.
and that works for most of the tracks I'm doing. Yes.
True. Well, that is one of the things I really wanted to see in Zelda also, more orchestral pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, yeah, there have been some rumors going around that because I don't know if you can tell that the gameplay we saw,
Mm-hmm.
is this all orchestrated, or is this?
The music itself is orchestrated, but it's not recorded with an orchestra and played by a live orchestra.
Okay,
That
so it's
sounds-
not orchestral.
No, I really don't think so. I could think that the piano sounds are from a real piano and recorded, but also you can recreate these piano sounds so well with good programs. So
Damn it.
and I don't know if I don't. So the music we heard in the trailer is definitely not played by a real orchestra, but that could change.
Okay, it's not a real orchestra.
No, I don't think so.
It's great, but it's not a real orchestra. So there you have it, guys, from the music expert himself, Ruben Wegner from Heidelberg, Germany. No, because for us normal listeners, we don't hear any difference between, especially when you have typical instruments such as a piano, a violin, because both piano and violin is playing a key role in this game.
Yes.
And with all the music, do you think we could get a new instrument in this game?
There are some Japanese instruments they use, and that's also like the tonal structures and harmonic structures they use are all derived from that era called Impressionism, and that era used many Japanese tones and Japanese things. That is also the connection to the Breath of the Wild soundtrack we're hearing today. And that new trailer was like a combination of more classical Zelda themes and Japanese inspiration from the music, and that combination is pretty interesting. And this game will have such an amazing music, but I don't think that, as I said, that it's orchestrated and recorded by a real orchestra. And piano and violin are the instruments, or the instruments you are hearing when you think about nature. These really represent the nature, and some other instruments, like there are Japanese flutes used and Japanese style of orchestra, because the Japanese orchestra history is another than the European. And for the older Zelda games, we used a more European orchestra, more strings, more percussion. And this is really even if it's not live recorded from the style, it's another type of orchestra than
Mm.
the older games.
Yeah.
Because the violins are playing very high, and there are many flutes playing, and that's more the Japanese style.
I just hope that because the entire soundtrack is said to have 24 pieces, or at least the what was it called again? The official soundtrack in the special edition has 24 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at Twilight Symphony, I find more than 60.
Yes.
Is this a concern?
I think some tracks could be about 50 minutes long or 30, because it's like the overworld theme is that it's like a cluster, and you will be in that world, and it will just play one section of that big cluster. So, or tonal experiment. So I think some of these tracks will be very long and very and you can play at each part of it, because it's not very connected. It has no big structure. While other tracks will be in the Fjord tradition. So I think the soundtrack will be great. As someone posted here in the chat, it's not extremely remarkable. I think it's the Animal Crossing composer who did that, not Koji Kondo.
Yeah, that's one thing also that people have been a little bit concerned about, because Koji Kondo he's a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he makes he made the entire soundtrack for Majora's Mask, or most of it.
Yes.
And Wind Waker, which are some of the best soundtracks in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And he also did much of the Ocarina of Time soundtrack, if not all.
Yes. But there's also always that concern. It's also with Hans Zimmer. He has many musicians working for him and composers, and his name will be featured in the credits, but you don't know if he really made the music. Mm-hmm. I think with Nintendo they're more traditionalized. I think if Koji Kondo stands there, he will do the music, but you have always to you always have to keep an eye out, especially with films. And yes, I think maybe it was a good decision to ask a younger composer to make music, because it's like with Miyamoto, who had some weird ideas for Mario, and other people at Nintendo which are maybe a little bit too conservative for the new Nintendo. You saw that in the logo from Nintendo. It was always red, which stands for something new, something exciting, and then it went gray within the last 15 years. And that was the time where Nintendo was a little bit more, yes, we're doing 3D Land, so we're doing 3D World. We had Donkey Kong Country Returns, so Tropical Freeze, and Sticker Star Color Splash. Everything, we're doing everything same over and over again. And then they are red again. And I think that really shows that they have some innovative and new ideas. And I think the composer and the general team for the Nintendo Switch and for Zelda, they are very young developers, and they want to bring some. If we would be at Game Explain, I would say a breath of fresh air to the genre.
Exactly. But it will be a little bit odd going, say, to Death Mountain and not hear the Death Mountain theme.
Yes, that's right. But I think they have some great ideas for that. Maybe they're making music with stones. If you clap with some stones together, you can make incredible percussion music. Yes. At some point, there's playing a steel drum. I think it's the Step Taddles fight, where you're playing, where the music plays a Caribbean steel drum. That's such a great idea. It's an instrument you would, when you hear it, you would think of tropical areas, beach and things like that. But it's used for a boss fight, and I think we will see more of these ideas.
It's true. So yeah, okay, let's get back to the races in Breath of the Wild. Because we know, obviously, Hylians are in the game. They are right next to not far away from the Great Plateau. So why don't people try to get up to the plateau? That's why
Yes,
don't they want to? They see what is at the plateau. They see the Temple of Time. So yeah, I wonder what kind of NPCs you will have in this game,
I have no idea.
because the
I've-
Gorons look amazing.
Yes, and these bird peoples look interesting. I think it's really like with all other Zelda games. It's based on tribes and races you have spread out on the world map. And as you said, more in the north there will be that these bird people. Did you say that before about?
Yeah,
Half
you
an hour.
know,
Yes.
it's the bird that people are calling falco.
Yes, and yes, I'm not an expert in that in these gaming or gameplay questions, but there's so many open questions in that game. We may don't even get an answer before the game comes out, and yes,
Yeah,
but that makes it very exciting.
True. Oh well, okay, let's see. Yeah, we also got the Zoras, obviously. They look differently this time around. Some are much
Yes.
bigger, much muscular. I like the variety of NPCs, because in previous Zelda games they just made, say, 4 different types and then copy paste. One line, and I stand in one place. I don't move anywhere.
Yes.
It looks like this will be different in Breath of the Wild. People will actually be walking around and doing stuff.
Yes, everything seems very dynamic and very beautifully crafted. With much attention to detail.
Yeah. And Zelda looks beautiful in this installment.
Absolutely beautiful.
She looks so innocent, so divine. Even more than Skyward Sword Zelda. She looks more like Hylia than any Zelda we have seen before.
Yes.
So pure, so innocent.
I think I have to leave now because
Yeah, I
I
think
slept
also we'll be ending the stream.
only very few, and I have to sleep now because the last few days were. I had university exams just one day before the Switch presentation in Mainz, another town in Germany, and I won them. So it's like a contest where you have to play piano against about 70 people, and I won it. So I got a place to study in Germany. So that's pretty cool. And I have so much time to sleep now.
Yeah. So guys, this was Ruven Wegner. Zeltik was with us the first 45 minutes. We hope you enjoyed this little catch-up on the Breath of the Wild content from the Treehouse. Some of the gameplay that was captured by some of the websites. The different bundles. We saw both the European bundle, the American Master bundle, which is probably sold out by now. And we got to see also some of the new details and hidden secrets in the Breath of the Wild trailer. So, guys, we will be continuing this donation on Twitter. And remember, we are also having this meetup in Sweden on February 4th. That is Saturday, February 4th in Sweden. There you can meet both Zeltik, Dr. Wiley, and me from Commonwealth Realm. So thank you so much, Ruven, for joining us. We are looking forward to your next Zelda Breath of the Wild music reorchestrations.
Thank you.
And we will just say to our European Union, not European Union, but our European viewers, good night and have a still great day in the United States, Australia, Japan, whatever you are. So we will see you soon on Commonwealth Realm, and with the music, of course, from Music Proposition. See ya.
Yeah, goodbye.